YouTube. What's up, man? It's your boy J Riz the Barber, man. I'm back at y'all with another haircut tutorial. And for this haircut today, man, we're gonna be doing a high ball fade. And as you can see, he got the locks twisted up top. So yeah, man, we're gonna jump right into it. And as y'all know, to start out the ball fade, we're going with our trimmers, setting in our ball line, which is our first guideline. Just keep it real consistent all the way around the head. Usually when I'm doing my ball fades, I'll go ahead and I'll set my ball line in all the way around the head first, just for time purposes. But for content purposes, I just went ahead and kept the ball line on this side, and then when I do the other side, I'll go ahead and set the ball line there. And for those of y'all who know my blending techniques, who watch and pay attention, my next guideline would be the lever halfway open. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my one guard on and open the lever halfway and lay that hair on the side of the head down, just to give it a much more smoother transition. If he would have had like bulky hair up top, we would have blended it in with like a two guard or something. But since he doesn't have that and he has the braids up top, we laid it down with the one guard halfway open. And as y'all know, our second guideline, man, is going to be the lever halfway open, and we went up probably about a half of an inch. And all the length of how high you take up your guideline depends on the size of the head and how you want your transition to look on the side of your blend. And then to blend that out, man, we go ahead and we close our lever and just attack at that bottom line. And for some reason, my client here, his hair just is stubborn and it doesn't always like to cut, so you got to constantly keep going over the same spot. So taking out that bottom line isn't effortless like certain other hair textures would be when it comes to blending out that bottom line. And there is a couple dark spots in this blend at the bottom line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my clippers down and pick my trimmers back up and blend out them dark spots with the trimmers. What you put the ball line in, that's what you take the ball line out with if it's not coming out with your clippers. And we go ahead and we put our one guard on and lever all the way closed. And if you pay attention to my videos, you should know my blending techniques by now. They're the same on every single style of head. I use the same steps on every head. On my last video, I showed y'all two separate ways on how to blend. But this is my usual go-to way to blend right here. I'm just keeping that guideline real consistent, man. Combing that hair back down so you know that the guideline is not up higher in one spot than it is in the other. Excuse me. And then we go ahead and we put our half guard on to blend out that next line. My brother Chris, man, he left early this day. And it's the luxury about cutting hair, man. It's so satisfying just watching the blend come together as you cutting the hair, man. It's like, man, I'm really producing this right here. This is an art form. And I never really been artistic. Like, I draw stick figures, man. I can't draw for nothing to save my life. I remember my first design I ever did on somebody. Man, Shorty was so mad. I had gave her 3 lines in the side of her head. She asked for 3 lines in the side of her taper. Man, one of the lines was wide, the other line was halfway wide. It was terrible. I never been artistic, but watching the blend come together, man, it's so satisfying. And I did take my half guard on and open my lever up all the way to blend out some of the dark spots that the half guard didn't take out. And in certain spots, I'm not using my entire blade. I'm just using the corner of the blade. It might look like I'm using the entire blade, but I'm not. In certain dark spots and dark areas, I'm only using the corner of the blade. And we're going to go ahead and use our 1.5 guard right here. And that's our next guideline. We're just blending up to the top of the bulk of the hair. Take that 1.5 guard on, put our 1 guard on and the lever open. And we're blending right underneath where we left off with the 1.5. And that blend coming together very well. Very, very well. And I believe I did close my lever halfway to blend up that hair a little bit better and the dark spots that wouldn't blend out. I'm gonna call you right back, bro. I'm editing a tutorial.
I'm the part of
Y'all getting raw footage, man. Raw footage. I shouldn't have answered that phone. But I do have my lever closed at this point. Just blending out some of them dark spots. And you just want to make sure that blend is consistent all the way to the back of the head. So that way when you go to the other side, the fade wrapping around the head just looks, it's flush. And I could have left this blend just like this right here, but you know, detail work, man. That's how you retain clients. My man Brian right here been coming to me for a few years now. And why? Because I pay attention to the details and what I'm doing. And I go ahead and I put my half guard on and I open the lever all the way open. And at this point, it's really just detail work. The blend itself looks good, but I'm just trying to detail it up to where as though when he walking down the street, somebody looking at that blend like, man, who cut your hair? That's how you gain new clientele. Word of mouth is one of the biggest clientele builders there is, because you got to think, your clients, when they get out of your chair and they leave a barbershop, man, they're a walking billboard. I'm telling you, I got clients all the time, man. They tell me like, yeah, man, when I went to this party, everybody kept asking me who cut my hair, who cut my hair. I gave them your booking info. I don't know if they gonna book because they was like, oh man, his prices, but you never know, man. It might be a millionaire that sees your haircut and they want to get their haircut. I'm telling you, if you pay attention to them details, man, the client's gonna love you for it. And then on this side of the head, I sped up the clip because what you do to one side of the head, you do to the other. I ain't want to have y'all sitting here watching a video for 30 minutes. I know personally when I was starting out, I didn't want to sit and just watch a tutorial for 30, 40 minutes. So I sped this side of the clip up, man. So as you know, setting that bald line, it's our first guideline. And just making sure we're matching it with the other side of the head. And we go, our next guideline will be our, I'm sorry, not a guideline. We're going to lay the bulk of that head down with the one guard halfway open. And we're going with the grain of the hair. So if the hair is growing towards the chin, you cut towards the chin. But our next guideline is our lever halfway open. As you all know, if you already watched my videos, close the lever, blend out that bottom line. And just keeping everything consistent, wrapping around all the way around the head. And we're going to take our trimmers and just use the corner of the blade in certain areas to blend out them dark spots. Next guideline is our one guard all the way closed. We're going up about 1 inch, maybe a half of an inch. I'm not a mathematician, y'all, so I can't tell the difference between 1 inch and a half an inch, but I know it's in that radius, in that realm of how wide you're gonna go up. And then next, we're gonna blend out that line with our half guard all the way closed. And these are the Wall Premium guards that I am using. I'm using the Wall Premium guards on my Gamma Ergo X clippers. And these are my personal favorite clippers. I can use these all day long. Battery life runs well, power runs well, even when they're about to die. These are one of my favorite clippers I ever used. And then to finish up blending that out, we took our half guard off and opened up our lever all the way. And I just closed it halfway because the all the way open wasn't blending out that line the way I wanted it to. So sometimes you just got to play with the lever, man. Do your detail work. And next we go in with our 1.5 guard all the way up to the parietal ridge. Then we took the half guard off, put our 1.5 guard on. As I work my way down the blend, I close the lever. I close the lever halfway, and then I just close it all the way to blend that out some more because the halfway open and the all the way open wasn't blending out the bulk of that hair around the parietal ridge. Like I said, man, it's all in the details. It's all in the details. Try new things. Don't be scared to try new things, man. If you make a mistake, it's fixable 90% of the time. So just try new things. Put our half guard on, lever all the way open. Just keeping that blend real consistent all the way around the head. Close the lever all the way. Just doing that detail work, man. The blend could be finished right now. I'm just detailing. I'm adding details. And always spin the chair all the way around to make sure your blend is consistent all the way around the head. And that's a fade right there, man. And we went ahead and we closed our lever all the way. And we're going to knock down the front of that hairline. And this is just the shape up prep, man. Knock all that hair down, dust them off. I know I hate hair sitting on my face. We're going to go in with our alcohol and we're going to clean the skin. It's all shape up prep. We're going to clean the skin with that alcohol. Go ahead and go in with our Tresemme hose spray. Wipe it in. We're going to jump right into the shape up process. My wall cordless detailers. These things cut like bread and butter. I love them. And as you can see, I was swiping my clipper to the right at the hairline. He had a piece of hair that would grow up into his shape up. So when you swipe your clipper to the right, it kind of pulls the hair instead of knocks it back into the shape up, if that makes sense. And I learned this from 360 Jeezy when I was first learning how to cut. Just watching his videos and seeing him do that, man, it helped me so much in my shape up process. And this is the main thing that a client is looking for 90% of the time, is the shape up. If you can produce a nice sharp shape up and it's straight and symmetrical, your clients are going to be locked in with you forever. They're not going to want to go to nobody else, because most people, when it comes to their shape ups, a lot of barbers can't get it done because they don't know how to get them 90-degree symmetrical angles on their head, because every head shape is different. You might have a round forehead, you might have a box forehead, you might got a pointy forehead. You never know. So you always got to make sure that you're getting them 90-degree angles and making sure that shape up is symmetrical no matter what, and it fits the client's head. That's what's most important, is that your shape ups fit your client's head. I can't stress it enough. When I was first starting out, man, my blend game was trash. But what I can tell you was, I knew how to get them 90-degree lines on them shape ups. I'm telling you. So even though my haircuts was trash, the clients would like them and think they was good because they had a perfectly nice symmetrical 90-degree shape up. So if you're starting out, focus a lot on just your shape ups first, and the blend game gonna come. That's the first thing your client sees when they look in the mirror, is the shape up. The first thing they see. That's the first thing they look at. And 90% of the time, the client don't even look at the blend on the sides. They just looking straight at the shape up. That's all they want to see, is the shape up. Like, oh yeah, he put me in there. And constantly brush that hair back down, so any hair that was pushed back up into the hairline, it gets cut. Yeah, it is, man. Sharp, natural hairline. We're gonna go in with our topic, and this is the dark brown hair fibers. And I use dark brown because it lays pretty much well on any hair color that you got. Dark brown, light brown, it lays perfectly on almost every haircut, and it looks natural. I don't use any airbrush, or I don't use that, because half the time it'd be looking fake to me, and I don't like that. And a lot of clients don't like that. Some clients like that look, but me personally as a barber, I don't like that. I want my haircut to look natural as possible. Go ahead, retap at that line. And we're gonna go in with our razor work, man. And as you should know, keep that razor at a 30-degree angle. Stretching that skin as far as possible so the razor just glides across the skin. Clean razor work, man. And always get that excess product off of the skin. Because you don't want the client to go and leave out of the barbershop with their forehead all sticky and shiny because they got excess product just sitting on their skin. Just clean it off with the razor real quick. Take 30 seconds. And this is what my man Brian came in looking like, man. Came in looking crazy. But you know how I do, man. I be changing lives, man. It's the before look. And here come the after. Sheesh. Yeah. Oh man, in there. Blurry blend, sharp shape up, fade consistent all the way around the head. Telling y'all, man, just pay attention to the details. I'm telling you, when you pay attention to the details, it's gonna separate you from all the rest of the barbers in this industry. Because most of the barbers in this industry ain't paying attention to the details, man. Lock in with me, man. Let's get it. He's shining. Okay. Blurry blend. Sharp lines. Consistent in the back. Consistent on both sides. Hey, he's shining, man. It's your boy J Riz the Barber. I'm signing out. Get with me.